Hello everyone and welcome back. So I did upload another video of this. It was live, but since I turned off my mic thinking that it would catch it through mumble and I didn't want it to loop, so I turned it off. So I didn't you didn't get to hear my voice because it didn't record. And you kind of miss a lot in the other one because I was focused on just me and I don't come until very late in the battle. So this will be a more normal commentary from the replay. So let's jump right in. I'm running pretty standard katana core. I have 6 katana samurai, 2 yari samurai, 2 yari cavalry, and 2 bow cavalry, and then also a bow samurai. Over here we have Volrath in his first ever team battle. Let's see, he has 2 great guard, 2 bow cavalry, 2 matchlock monks, 2 bow warrior monks, 2 naginata samurai, and 2 katana samurai. Nope, make that 3 Naginata warrior monks. Over here, on Volrath's side, Naginata monk, a bunch of lone swords and katanas. What's it look like? Oh, a Nodachi. A lot of swords, basically. What is that? 2 lone swords, 2 katanas, and a Nodachi, then 2 Naginata monks, a matchlock Ashigaru, and 2 bow warrior monks. No cavalry or archers. Oh, wait, there are the archers. The other guy doesn't have any archers. Purple here on my side. A lot of lone swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only a token cavalry force with 2 light cavalry. 4 katana samurai and 3 Naginata warrior monks in the Yari Ashigaru. And this is a good battle too because I kind of get to illustrate. People say that spamming lone swords works really well, and a lot of people do it. I'm kind of skeptical to that. I think that lone swords are somewhat easy to deal with because once you kill their general, they're just completely screwed. And with no cavalry support, really, or even range support, you can get some good cavalry moves in and take out his general, and you pretty much won the battle. So what we were going to do here, because we have such a missile advantage with 4 bow cavalry and a couple bows, we were going to kind of sit back with our infantry and let our missile troops take this one first and try and skirmish as much as possible. Because this guy here does not have any bows, and this guy just has 2. So we're going to try and take that opportunity to skirmish and kill as many as we can before the infantry lines clash, because if you look, looks like they have an infantry advantage. They just have a lot of infantry units, a bunch of Naginata monks who suck now though, but a lot of lone swords, a lot of katanas. Are vulnerable to being swarmed, so we do not want that to happen. So as you can see, I've moved my cavalry up. The Yari cavalry here is to cover the bow cavalry. There's the Yaris. They're here to cover the bow cavalry because I don't want them to get hit by the light cavalry because they will probably lose. Bow cavalry is just terrible in melee. So let's see. We have Volrath moving up here. This great guard, both rank 9, serious veterans, and 2 bow cavalry. So look, I mean, Volrath has a lot of strong units here. You may think it's kind of like power spamming maybe, but this is why I like the smaller size battles and not like Ultra, which aren't any, they aren't matchmaking anymore. You won't get any Ultra battles. But look, he has a lot of very powerful units, a lot of high-ranking vets. He's got some Naginata monks, a lot of samurai, 2 great guards. But look how small his force is. It's fairly small. I mean, he only has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 10 to 12 units. And if we look over here, this guy has a lot more. So there's actually a quality-quantity balance. And I like that a lot in these smaller size battles, at least ones that aren't ultra. So bow cavalry has made contact. They're shooting into anybody really that they can get their hands on in the Ashigaru here. I was trying to hit the Naginata monks though. Wanted to get them killed as fast as possible or whittled down. Just because they have such low armor, they're easy targets, and while they were nerfed pretty heavily, they're not useless by any means. So Volrath's coming out trying to pick off Red's general because he's being very careless here. If you lose your general, that's a very bad sign. But we're going to see some cavalry come out of the forest on the far side. 2 Yari cavalry over there. Volrath pulls out, but maybe should have pressed on. Both the generals are there. Maybe could have gotten something off. But pulling back, waiting for a better opportunity. Good choice. The Yari cavalry is coming out, and the Great Guard is going to come out to meet him. The bow cavalry will attempt to disengage and get out of there, but they're kind of being screwy here with their formations. The Yari cavalry gets a good charge into the bow cavalry, and one of them is down half strength already. But the Great Guard does get there and hits the Yari cavalry, and we'll see some action there. But the matchlocks start firing here, but not a very good angle, and their formation's all screwed up, so not going to do any real damage. So Volrath's priority right here is taking out the cavalry. If we can just keep them all focused on infantry, we can use our cavalry to flank and smash into their Ashigaru and from behind, kill their generals, and try and win this battle. So the Yari cavalry proving resilient, though. This one still has 43 men left. This one is 15 and is about to go. But the fire arrows are coming out too. And Volrath's starting to take some casualties here. But his Great Guard's more or less fine. One of them is still at 54. The other is at 39. This bow cavalry's been hit pretty hard too, though. So he only has one bow cavalry left. But Red's cavalry is gone. So maybe not the best trade-off, but wasn't useless. Meanwhile, I'm just kind of tailing them around here. I was expecting the battle to be kind of here. So I was running everybody around to try and flank them and hit them from behind and try and pincer them. It didn't work out that way. With all the water, I really underestimated how long it would take for them to reach the enemy lines. So Volrath is pulling back across the river, trying to engage the cavalry here in the water, so they will get the speed penalty and their charge will not be as good. We see the Great Guard are coming back to cover, but the light cavalry is going to pull out. So the action right now is in Volrath's corner. They're both just rushing towards Volrath, and Volrath is pulling back for two reasons. One, just doesn't want to get him swarmed right now. Wants him to come across the river, so they'll be moving slower. His missiles will have more time to get their shots off and prevent this cavalry from getting off a real good charge while they're retreating, but also to exhaust them. Take a look at the enemy army. You can see the little foot icon above the banners. They're orange, and that means they are starting to get tired. These ones are already very tired, these Ashigaru. So if you can get them down to exhausted, that's a big combat penalty and also a morale penalty, which will need to be working in our favor if we're going to win this battle against such huge numbers. We're in danger of being swarmed and routed, and with the flanking bonus that got increased in the patch, I don't know why they did that. I don't think it was very good. It actually helps spamming, because you can just kind of spam and swarm around them and get big morale penalties. But I digress. Just trying to exhaust them and keep them here. Just try and distract them as long as possible. I'm trying to get around to flank them, but it's just taking forever. Notice I have the fatigue resistance on my veterans, and I have the fatigue resistance aura. So my guys are just winded and active. They're still in pretty good shape. My cavalry tried to get a good charge off into the bow warrior monks, but I underestimated the angle. I thought I had a pretty good angle here, but the matchlocks were still able to shoot into my Yari cavalry and took that one out. But I didn't send them both. I still have one left, and both my bow cavalry. So anyway, the enemy has made it across the river, but they're very tired. Look at Volrath's side. He's just tired, winded, so he's in okay shape, fatigue-wise. They're pretty disorganized attack right now. And Volrath's able to just pin down the first two, and they're just going to get shot up by the matchlocks. And the bows as well, they'll be firing shortly once they get into position. The Great Guard is out here to flank, and Volrath's just going to try and kill as many of these guys as we can. The pincer action did not work, so I'm just trying to get into a good position now. I don't think I'll be able to get there in time to support him. My cavalry is here threatening his rear, trying to get any shots they can into the enemy. My bow samurai have run up too to try and get some shots into their rear. Just take a quick look over here what I'm doing. Trying to take out the missile units. I'm just rushing over to his... actually, I have to take out these Naginata monks first, and then I'll be rushing up to take out the matchlocks and the bow warrior monks and completely obliterate the enemy ranged units. My bow cavalry is going to try and get some shots in here on the enemy general. So anyway, back to Volrath. We have wavering here on the Great Guard. They're about to go. This Naginata warrior monk is broken. We see some wavering already here. Volrath moving with the rest of his infantry. I mean, with this quality heavy army that Volrath rolls with, I mean, look at this. 4 infantry units, and that's it. There's a serious trade-off in the quality-quantity spectrum in the smaller size battles that I really like and are they make battles more interesting. Meanwhile, my cavalry has engaged the Red's general, trying to pick him off. The Avatar bodyguard is going to try and charge into the mass and just try and kill as many of them as possible. Not much flanking options here because of just the huge number of men they have just rushing Volrath. The matchlocks are firing too, but there's a little bit of friendly fire, and the line's just not going to be able to hold very long against these sheer numbers, and they're just going to get pretty much crushed. The Naginata warrior monks that broke have rallied, and we'll see some wavering here among red and purple, but they're just going to end up taking out Volrath pretty quickly. Not very good maneuvers. I underestimated their aggression, thinking I had time to flank around and pincer them. It didn't work. Um, let's just check over here real quick. I've come up and routed these. Well, they're wavering, but they'll rout in just a second. The missile units are pretty much gone. My bow cavalry is in their rear shooting into them, so is Volrath's. My bow samurai are here too, just trying to shoot into their rears and kill as many of them as I can. Volrath's bodyguard is going to tank these 4 units, just trying to hold them off so the ranged units can get off as many shots as they can. But the infantry has pretty much been overwhelmed. There's just this one Naginata monk standing, and this Naginata samurai, but they'll be quickly overwhelmed. Volrath is going to pull back at this point, just to try and conserve his units, try and tire out the enemy a little more. They're very tired, as you can see by the icons above their banners. Volrath's general is going to pull out too, and he's going to try and save these 2 bow monks and just try and pull back and try and run them around as much as possible to get their stamina down while I move up from the rear. Let's check here. My Yari cavalry has moved up. I tried to hit some people in the back, didn't work too well. My bow cavalry is hurt too. I think one of them is routed, so I just have, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just have 2 at this point. Anyway, the enemy is swarming over Volrath's position. He did an okay job though, as you can see by all the dead bodies. He killed a lot of them, so did some good damage. Volrath is pulling back to this hill to make a last stand, but light cavalry has come up and try and take out these bow warrior monks, but Volrath's general will be all over it, and we'll rout them shortly. But the Red's general is getting pretty cocky here, running up into the bow warrior monks, and Volrath's general is going to get off a bonsai charge into Red's general, and he's down to 8 men right now. Killed 2 of them in the charge. Volrath still has 14, but he's going to pull him back in time, but he's wavering. So if you can get him to rout, that'll be a huge bonus against Red here. He's pulled back here. Volrath is probably going to try here at this point to get his last charge into the Red's general, try and get him to rout. And Red's going to kind of forget about him. He's micromanaging too much, but pull him out at the last second. Volrath's general just making a last-ditch effort to take out Red's general, and he's going to get him down to 5. And there he goes. Did he shatter? I don't see the banner anymore. Let me just make this sure. Let's see. Red's general. Yep, shattered. 5 out of 30. Red's general is gone. What a brave charge. Look at this, right into this big mass. Got them while they were reforming and micromanaging. A really aggressive move, and might just turn the battle in our favor. There's always hope if the enemy general is killed. I mean, people complain about how important the general is, but I think it's kind of good because then it means you always have a chance. If you can just kill the enemy general, you can just pull it out. And now Volrath is pretty much gone. He just has 1 bow warrior monk and his general, and I have all this to deal with. But let's look on the bright side. His units are all very tired, and 1 of their generals is gone. So there still is hope for this battle. My units are pretty much fine. My cavalry's hurt from early action. My infantry is almost untouched. The Matchlock's got a couple nice shots off. This Yari Samurai is pretty hurt, but not really going to need Yaris because the enemy cavalry is gone, besides the general. Now Purple's doing something interesting here, pulling his general over here to the flank. I'm guessing what he was going to do is when they were all moving together, he would have his general come around the flank and hit me from the rear for a flanking bonus, or maybe to attack my general. But it's going to prove to be a bad move. So we're going to be really aggressive here, and we're going to take our bow cavalry and just rush them right into the enemy general. Volrath's general is going to try and pincer from the other side. We're just going to try and pin this guy down. Now Purple is managing his infantry units. One problem with the quantity side armies is that, yeah, it's harder to micromanage, and that's going to be a problem here. So he's moving his swords around and forgets about his general, and we're going to get a nice charge right into both sides of them. Bow cavalry is not very good, but they can get off a decent charge, at least acceptable. So this general, bam, down to 13. Started with 20, we killed 10 of them. Down to 9, oh, 6. And just gets wasted. 5. 4, can we get him? Can we get him? Where'd he go? No, he's still there. He's still wavering, down to 4. Oh, now he's steady. He used rally there on his general. Trying to keep him in the match, and he pulls out with 4 men left in the unit, and the general is still alive. Our bow cavalry gets struck down, but Volrath's general is still alive. Also, his bow warrior monk? No. His bow warrior monk is gone too. So Volrath is left with just his general bodyguard at 9 men. We did some good damage to Purple's bodyguard. He has 4 men left. Volrath is going to be trying to pull around here. Try and just be a threat in the rear. Those melee generals are pretty much always a threat. Whoa, where did my banners go? Let me see if I get those. Huh. My banners kind of disappeared. That's kind of weird. Oh well. Oh, well, there they come. Anyway, I'm just trying to pull out. My main worry here is getting flanked. I do not want to get surrounded because then I can just get crushed. His general is coming up too to be part of the first attack, but seeing my Yardi cavalry come out, he's going to pull his general back. Good move, try and be safe there. But Volrath's bodyguard's coming around the rear too to meet him, and he started managing his other units. And Volrath's going to tell him to attack the general. Got a little glitch there and went into the lone swords. But he's going to get his general to go and attack, and there he goes, struck down. And there we go, shattered. So both of their generals are dead. They are quantity side armies, and as you can see, they're already wavering, haven't even made it to my lines. And I'm just going to use this opportunity now to just rush him and get those guys to break as fast as possible. Take him down in chunks. He was trying to get around to flank me, split his army up into multiple parts. That's going to prove to be his downfall, though, because I'm just going to all-out rush here. But I'm going to keep a couple reserves just so I don't get flanked. The Yardi cavalry is here to be a deterrent and try and go into the flanks here. And look at this. We have shattering. Bam, this whole side of the army just routed. That's the problem with these Ashigaru armies. See, the Ashigaru, Lone Sword Ashigaru spam, I think you could beat it pretty easily if you can just kill the general. If they just have Lone Swords, you can just kill their general a lot easier. If you have a couple cavalry, you can just bonsai them right into their general. And look at that. It took nothing to rout those guys. So this wing that attacked their detachment is going to quickly come back and reform. We're all going to come together. I do not want to get flanked or split up. We got to all stay together, try and keep as many reserves as possible. Now you see when I engage them, I'm only going to send a couple units. The Yari Samurai are going to go in first to take the brunt. They have pretty good defense. Even though katanas and swords will beat them, they have really good defense, so they can just stay alive for quite a while. They make pretty good tanks, even if they won't win a battle. They can last quite a while. So I sent my Yaris in first, and plus he doesn't have any cavalry, so why not use them as the distraction? So look at this, we have wavering already in these couple units. Volrath running his general in from the rear to hit them, just keep that flanking penalty, having units behind him. It's a big penalty to morale. So look at this, just a couple units I have here. The rest are just resting here on reserve. They're back to active on their stamina, so they're in great shape. These are all exhausted and very tired, and they're Ashigaru, and their general is dead. They will not last very long. So once he starts committing all of his force, I move my reserves up too. These two on this wing are coming around to flank as well. My cavalry is coming around to flank from the other wing. My bow samurai just use their whistling arrows to give them a morale penalty, and they're going to break there. Volrath's general is coming from the rear and cleaning them up too, and there goes that wing. Now all that's left is the center. These guys aren't even going to get to flank before they all shatter. And I'm just going to clean up this battle. Volrath gave me a nice little enemy army to work with. Lost their head. General's dead before they got to me, and so I was able to quickly just rout them, no problem. So wow, that was a close battle. It was looking pretty bad there when Volrath got overwhelmed. He wasn't able to do a whole lot of damage. And so it left with pretty full, there we go, there's the last shattering. Two pretty full armies to deal with, but luckily we were able to kill those generals, and these quantity side armies quickly crumbled without the general. All those Lone Sword Ashigaru, he had 8 of them, and they were just gone. Didn't even make it to the lines, most of them. And they were just destroyed, completely routed. So it's just strategy will beat that trying to spam. I mean, I'm not really calling these guys spammers, but they were really, really infantry heavy, and a lot of people just kind of do that. They go really heavy in like infantry, and they just kind of try and rush like that. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of tactical use. I guess like at the end he had those 2 kind of wings going on, but it was really careless. I'm not saying it wasn't bad strategically necessarily, but pretty careless letting your general get killed like that, especially when you have that quantity side army. You really need to look out for your general, or that'll happen. Just all get shattered. So thanks for watching, everybody.